why I respect Bingham Smurf. Him and 50 was enemies, right? And when they asked that nigga about 50, at the time, ain't nobody know about 50 like that. He was brand new. You know, them niggas had hit songs at the time, but they just was making their way in. Smurf just got locked up. So soon as Smurf got locked up, you know, them wanting to know shit on him and 50, that was big news because that was his road dog. When they said, yo, what about 50? They interviewed him in Sing Sing. Right? I was in Sing Sing. You know what that nigga said? They said, do you think 50 could survive in here? That nigga said, I ain't never told you 50 was pussy. He gonna survive anywhere because he not having it. He said, I just told you that we got an issue, and when I see him, it's on and popping. That's what a real nigga do. He could have said anything. He could have said 50 was a bitch. Ain't nobody know nothing about 50 other than him talking shit at that time and him, you know, getting hit. He ain't even get to really, you know, let y'all niggas know he wasn't having it yet. So son could have lied. He could have did what Laz doing. He could have started lying and saying that nigga was a lemon and all that, and 50, you know, would have had to work out of that shit that his man was saying. And he could have easily said that because they had him pegged as being the protector. And we saw that because the image he had was bigger than 50 at the time. Because he was the super wolf that was protecting 50. You know what I mean? I respect both of them niggas. I respect 50 as a boss, and I respect that nigga Smurf as the cross. You know, but in this world, y'all been taught to suck the boss dick. When in some occasions, and most occasions, the boss would never be a boss without the cross. And the reason why I say the cross be the real nigga that's blessed, like me. When I met Laz, he had 14,000 subscribers. When I left Laz, he had almost 100,000. Who helped who? Who blessed who? He ain't the first nigga that I made and they ran, so I don't get nothing. You can't stop me, nigga. But whatever stopped of mine, I've been blessed. I could leave and do some other shit. And I always get the last laugh. I'm the cross. But you ain't the boss. You a lame. I ain't mad at you, but I have to lift your skirt. And I think the reason why I gotta lift your skirt is because everybody's blind. I don't like that. I don't like living in a world with a whole bunch of blind people where niggas can fake like they got dicks and they really got pussies. You know, as much as you talk about how a nigga look, what you trying to date a nigga? You be all in niggas' faces, all in niggas' beds. Don't, you know, to tell the truth about you, you are fruity. And you touched the booty before. You know what I'm saying? You and your whole team was running around playing butt games. If you look down his page, I bet you he got asparaguses all over. He always talking about somebody on his meat, his Johnson. That nigga talk, go look through his shit. I don't care if his views go up. You need to see who you seeing. You a fraud. That nigga Devon was right, B. And you so much of a clown, you sabotage John Rambo's success. All that Brooklyn Bronx shit, overcrowded that nigga being the guard of the island. That's undisputable. There's no name bigger than John Rambo for Rikers Island. Not Shy Wells. Nobody name fuck with that man name. I was in the old Queens house with all them Far Rockaway dudes. You know what's one of the reasons them dudes ain't really try to get at me and none of that shit? Because my right-hand man was John Rambo right-hand man. And we was thick as fucking thieves. We took turns going to sleep in that shit. We was outnumbered in that shit. But nobody ever dissed him, and nobody ever dissed me. Half of that shit is because of John Rambo, nigga. And back then, there was no living off the strength. Meaning, niggas ain't give a fuck who you was connected to. But they cared if you was connected to John Rambo. Can anybody say I'm lying from Queens? No, y'all won't. If you do, you fake as fuck. Niggas, I ain't gonna say nobody was scared of them because everybody was men. But I'll say this. They didn't want to disrespect him. Why? Because it would have been heavy repercussions. John Rambo was John Rambo. Every sense of the word. So if you're John Rambo, every sense of the word, that means nobody could mess with this nigga. Why that nigga? Because you from Brooklyn and John Rambo, you thought was from the Bronx. After you dissed him, you turned around and claimed him. Yo, you a bitch, yo. I don't care where a nigga from. I'm 5-barrel double with it. I respect my hood. I fight for my hood when I have to. I don't fight for my hood when I don't have to. I'm not running around saying Harlem, 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 so everybody in Harlem could protect my bitch ass. Because that's what you are when you do that. That's who you was in jail. You run around and scream Brooklyn, Brooklyn, Brooklyn till you form a crowd, then you run around starting trouble. You have no one-on-one encounters with nobody thorough. Who have you ever challenged thorough? Who? Where your story of going against anybody thorough or famous? Huh? You was in jail, right? You tough, right? Or telling people the truth. You not tough. You know how to start trouble. You an instigator and a bitch. You was the nigga in the middle of a crowd and you talking about under pressure. Why you ain't talking about how yo, man, the story of how I met this nigga is ridiculous. I was already in the jail, on top. Go back to the haunted prison story he got. If he take it down, you a real bitch. He tell y'all, look how much that nigga a liar. He tell y'all how he met me. Go back and listen to it. And see if he tell you I was a sucker. Or see if he tell you I had shit in the smash. Now, I had shit in the smash because of me. You know why that nigga? I can't say he didn't have shit in the smash, quote unquote. We was the strongest dudes in the jail. But this ain't